It's a slightly windy and overcast evening on the curve in downtown Plant City, Florida. Welcome back to the Sunshine State Rails. Today we have set our cameras up on the Plant City train viewing platform in downtown Plant City, Florida to try to catch some of the CSX trains that are, quote, clearing out the yards for the oncoming Hurricane Dorian. As for this now Category 5 hurricane headed toward Florida called Dorian, CSX was apparently going to clear out all of their yards so the hurricane that was oncoming wouldn't affect their rolling stock. The first train that we came out for this day would be CSX train Q44231. Typically northbound mixed freight traffic out of Tampa's Yeoman Freight Yard headed toward Rice Yard in Waycross, Georgia. There are two things to be seen here. One, the new Plant City interlocking that we discussed in my previous video, and the Plant City depot that has been boarded up at the windows to also prepare for Dorian on its way. Today, along with the usual mixed freight traffic headed north, there would apparently be some extra cars coming out of Yeoman headed toward Waycross to dodge the hurricane headed toward the Sunshine State. And since I got all positive feedback about it, here it is returned. The new GoPro chase view that I tried out within the last video I made. I have put this camera back into place because with the possibility of 442 clearing out some of Yeoman Yard today, we decided to give a short chase to Q442 about 7 miles north of Plant City to the Knight's defect detector at milepost S818.9. Once the train crossed this device, it would read out the defect status, axle count, speed, and length of the train. So that was all information that we were trying to go for. So enjoy the short chase of Q44231.
Got a clear signal at distance of 9.
Finally, we make it to the Knight's defect detector. Now, here is something important to note for an upcoming video sometime in the future. The Tropicana juice train that starts out as 0823 from Bradenton to Tampa, instead of going on Q046 from Tampa to Jacksonville, now becomes part of Q442 from Tampa to Waycross. I have an upcoming video about this entire topic, and this is something important to remember, so stay tuned.
CSX Equipment Defect Detector, milepost 818.9er. No defects. No defects. Total axle 664. Train length 10645. Speed 34. End of transmission.
10,645 feet long. Not bad at all for this train. Though it seems like 442 may not be completely emptying Yeoman, as they may be doing a little bit every day, or nothing at all, as the new forecast is showing different activity with Dorian, which I'll explain near the end of the video. Either way, we get back to downtown Plant City, and about an hour and a half goes by before CSX train Q046 comes across the new diamond. discussed earlier, 046 has no Tropicana anymore, and this train right here is what leads me to believe CSX may not be moving anything out with the new forecast. CSX train Q441, usually daily mixed freight traffic from Waycross, Georgia back to Tampa, Florida, was running today, which would be fairly odd if they were trying to move things out for this hurricane. Either way, this roughly 8,000 foot train was barreling down on Plant City as we spoke, so we set up our cameras and drones and waited. Here would be the last train we went for tonight, CSX train Q60431, daily outbound mixed freight traffic from Winston Yard at Lakeland, Florida to Rice Yard in Waycross, Georgia. This was another one of the trains that we hoped to catch emptying out the yard at Winston, though, like I said, with the new forecast in Dorian, we don't know how much it affected this train. Once 604 began to depart at about 10 to 10 p.m., we jumped up the hill to Lakeland Junction to watch Q604 diverge from the A line to the Vitus subdivision to make his way north to converge with the S line at Vitus Junction. From there, he'll continue all the way up the S line, converging with the A line at Callahan, then continuing through Folkestone all the way to Waycross. Tonight, Q604 consisted of, as usual, jumbo covered hoppers loaded with phosphate, empty sulfur tanks, mixed freight scattered here and there, a few blocks of rock hoppers, and some refrigerated cars thrown in here and there as well. Now, as for the new Dorian forecast, it is shown that Dorian will likely make a northward turn before it makes landfall within the state, not even make landfall within the state whatsoever, and go all the way up the east coast of the Sunshine State before making landfall somewhere within the Carolinas. So with this being said, CSX may not be taking a drastic approach to this just yet. As for 604, he was around 200 cars tonight, still not bad at all. Now regardless as to whether this hurricane goes straight up the east coast, straight through the state, or straight south, this hurricane has upgraded to a Category 5 as of September 1st, 2019. So to all my friends on the East Coast, no matter which way this hurricane turns, I wish you all the best, and you all have my prayers. No matter where you are in the state, you all have my prayers. Stay safe, everyone. And in Lakeland, Florida, this is Kotabeaner, and I'll see y'all next time on the Sunshine State Rails.